Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. How are we all, peeps? Hope you're well. Ooh, got that epidemic sound cranking. Let me just turn that down a touch. The old JVC VCR. What are we going to talk about today? Good day. Bit going down. A couple of big things. A huge competitor has jumped on against Tesla. The Porche Tay-can. That's apparently how it's pronounced, as in Tay-can, not taken as it's spelt. Another one of those perception-based pronunciations. Anyways, I didn't like the white. The white looked a bit... I'm not a big white fan in cars. It looks boring. Looks like a taxi. Taxis never look good. I don't care what to say. Not a white, and those white wheels are even worse. But anyway, let's talk about the car. Obviously, it's Porsche's full electric car. It's had little brief bits and pieces coming in on it. In the last couple of months, we've had bits and pieces about what's happening and what it can do. Now, it's a 800 watt system. That's probably the biggest thing about it that we need to talk about. 800 watts. Tesla's a 400 watt system. Not a Sparky, HV Sparky, but basically means it's on a real basic level. It's easier to cool the car systems. By using 800 watts, you can use smaller wires, so less heat, smaller parts, blah, 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 stuff like that. Which is good because what that then allows you to do is do more high performance runs with it, with the system. Unlike the Tesla, which after a couple of brief high-speed runs or that, you have to sort of basically let it cool down. It can't handle the flogging. It's not Datsun built, as I'd say. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting to understand that. Obviously with the Tesla cars, you don't really hear about that side of things. They're a great car and they've done great things for the electric, and we're getting another competitor in. It's only going to make things better. What else? Specs on it, pretty standard, similar to the Tesla Model 3. It's got a 450k range, which is basically a week's driving anyway. I know our car, just doing basic stuff, running around work, jack to school, bits and pieces, whatever I'm doing. We get about 400k's is probably a good week. So a 450k range, that's pretty much a week's worth of driving. It's only those people that want to, for whatever reason, drive long distances, and that's probably, they're not going to be looking at this car anyway. I guess it's probably going to be more, to start with the electrics, is more going to be city-based guys, which is a good thing. Eventually the technology will get better and it'll get longer and longer and longer, and 5-10 years, probably less, maybe 5 years, we'll be looking at cars that can do 1,000 k's, and then that'll be the big breaking point, I think. It's got a 100 kilowatt battery pack. I think it uses about 90 kilowatts of that. When it's going, 10 kilowatts is like a spare or whatever. 2.8 seconds to 60 miles an hour or 100 k's. The Tesla's 2.6, so 0.2 of a second, which is still pretty good. It's the same basically as a GTR, Nismo GTR, Dado GTR. That's 2.8 seconds, so that's still pretty good time. So pretty hard to beat. 250k an hour, speed regulated, speed limiter, obviously. So yeah, where can you do over 130 in Australia anyway? So it doesn't matter what top speed is. That's pretty much a waste of time anymore. They shafted the territory when they changed those rules. So yeah, that, I guess, top speed really doesn't matter for any car, unless you're on a racetrack. Other than that, good sized boot. Pretty trick lights at the front there. My biggest concern is probably on the interior stuff and the fact that it has zero legroom in the back. Now, the Top Gear guy that got into it, he was 5'8", so basically a midget. or pretty close to a midget. And you could see the way he was sitting in the front seat, where he had the front seat, his elbows were at the steering wheel, and knees were up behind the steering wheel, and that was his seating position. Now, if you're a race car driver, I understand they go closer and they have their arms bent and all that, and so it's just limited movements, and I understand all that, that's fine. But no one drives like that around the city streets. It's more relaxed, legs stretched. You're not driving 500 Ks bent up like that. Trust me, I know this because I used to own a Datsun 1200 Ute, and I drove from Darwin to Alice Springs, 1500 Ks in one, and you cannot do that for long periods. That's just crap. That's called legs falling asleep and all sorts of dramas. So with that seating position, he then sat in the back and he had about 2 inches behind the seat saying, oh yeah, there's plenty of leg room in here for a person. There's no way a 6 foot 1, I'm an average height in Australia, 6'1". Most kids nowadays are going to be bigger than me. We're getting taller as we get older. Each generation gets taller. So it's all going to be 6'3", 6'1" to 6'3" would be an average height, I would guesstimate. Especially in Germany, all the guys I know in Germany that I play baseball against, they're not tall, they're not short, they're all 6 foot or plus. So I'd love to see a genuine 6'1" to a 6'3" person sit in the front comfortably, and then see if another 6 foot person can sit in the back. And I would highly doubt. I'd say there'd be a 95% chance. There's no way there'd be any leg room whatsoever. So I think it's needs to be treated more like a Ferrari, like a 2+2, like a California or something, where it's got 4 seats, but there's no way it's a 4-seater. It's a 2+2. But yeah, so anyway, does look good. Did have a nice body shape, I thought. It's got that 911 front curve, a little bit of that 4-seater thing they did. I don't even want to mention that Porsche thing. That's ugly as hell. What do they call it? Tay-can or whatever. The family Porsche. That's the 4 drives look better than that thing. That's really, really ugly. But yeah, it's got a little bit of that at the back, but it actually looked really nice. It looked really sporty and a really nice car. Way out of price ranges. It's like 180,000 US. So what's that, about 400,000 Australian? Yeah, whatever. My biggest piss off about it, and I think everyone was saying it in the forums, the range is the Porsche, and then it's a turbo Tay-can, and then a Tay-can turbo, and then turbo S. I understand the S for sports, but it doesn't have a turbo, man. It's a battery car. What numpty decided to put turbo in the name? It's not a Porsche turbo. Porsche turbo denotes it has a turbo. That's why it's called a turbo. Big F-off turbo that makes the thing go ridiculously fast. It has none of that. Porsche, big mistake, stupid idea, makes it look stupid. Stupid. Get rid of that. That's my only 2 faults I found with it. Other than that, it was good, and just the white colour was a bit, how's your father? Sorry guys, I'm just having dramas that didn't want to try and go through. It was a bit tricky with trying to get away from that vertical. So I didn't want it on the tripod. There's no real way to hold the phone. Right, a couple other things I want to go through. Try and get this one not too long tonight for you. Don't want to stretch it right out. Trump, good old mate Trump. We mentioned the other day how he said the hurricane was going to go all the way through to Alabama, even though no one had ever said it was going to, including the Weather Bureau and all that. He maintains still that it was always going to hit Alabama. The arrows on some map that doesn't exist pointed and it was going to hit Alabama. So today, he got a weather map from the Weather Bureau where it clearly shows that it wasn't going to hit Alabama, and he got a texter and drew the, you've got the round of, like the round shape of a cyclone or a hurricane in America, they call them, and it's sort of obviously circular, so as it moves, it's got like a balloon shape, so it's got the round end. He's added on another bit so it gets to Alabama and then put it on national TV. What the? Sorry, he, he's just gold. If he ever gives up, well, when he gets sacked from being the president, he should go into stand-up comedy because he's got so much material. He could take the piss out of himself for the next 50 years and make a fortune. It's actually illegal to do that because not only is he's put on there and then he's put on national television, so that could possibly indicate some sort of issues for people in that area, and there's actually a law in America saying you cannot do this. You can't sort of basically go out and bullshit the people and say that this is what's going to happen on a weather map, because that could cause obviously panic and harm and people to get hurt for no reason at all. So yet again, he's done something that's basically illegal, and well, yet again, he'll get away with it because everyone just laughs at him because he's an idiot. So very funny, very funny. A good thing if guys are into photography or creators or anything, Matty Hoppier, he's a really good photographer. His brother's a bit of a guru coder, has created an app, and I had a look at it, and it's really, really good. It's called Porche Tay-can. Check it out. It's a free app. Basically lets you take a video or a photo on your iPhone. They don't do Android at the moment, sorry. Well, I think they are going to look at that. He's going to look at doing that. So basically take a photo, and as you can see here, you could basically lock in place on here, a title across here saying Tigers Media, lock it into that area, and everywhere you moved, it would stay where it locked it in, or you can move it around with your fingers and put it wherever you want. So you could put it above your hat, wherever you want. So if you're doing a short video, you want to title a couple of things in there, it gives you those options. Check it out, really good. Placer app. It's basically like a little red square. Just Google on the Apple Store. It's available in Australia as well. Very cool. For you Instagrammers and Facebook, stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool. Check that one out. Definitely worth a go. And the last thing I want to talk about for you gamers out there, if you're a gamer, ASUS ROG, they're big time gaming guys. They're the ones with all the fluoro coloured machines and bits and pieces, the RGB lighting on all their peripherals and keyboards and stuff like that. They've pretty big in the laptop department. Obviously, at current levels, a 240 hertz refresh rate for a screen is pretty much it, which is pretty darn good. Well, they've somehow managed a 300 hertz screen. There's a prototype going around. Just did the German computer game show, and Linus Tech Tips had it up today testing, and yeah, pretty cool. He said it's very hard to sort of see the difference between the 240, but for the pro gamers, obviously they're playing all the time, and any small miss could mean big money to them. Yeah, it's obviously because they're professionals. Having that ability to have 300 hertz is, well, that could be a make or break for them. So yeah, definitely cool. I didn't check out the cost of it. Obviously, it's a prototype at the moment. It'll be coming out, but I'm assuming whatever the 240 hertz ROG system is, you're going to have another little premium on top of that. Again, it's probably more pro gamers, so they'll probably get it for free anyway. The ROG ASUS team guys, or the guys that do buy it have got the money. Well, they won't care about the money because they'll just go and buy it. So yeah, that's about it. Weather's definitely changed at work. Definitely warmer. Winter's over here. Going from a run this afternoon was definitely hotter. Excuse me. Get my G Fuel in. I've got to do some editing. I've got to do the Fremantle Markets video tonight. I've got all the photos done last night and all the ones from Darwin as well. Got a heap of photos edited from that. So now I just got some video work to do, heap of hours to chuck in, and my poor little MacBook 13 is going to cop a flogging over the next few days. But hopefully soon I'll get that Fremantle Markets video up here. Pretty cool. It was a packed day. I did have a couple of sound issues, so see how we go, but I think I might be able to work a little something, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you all had a fantastic day. Didn't work too hard, and if you're only just getting up, have a great day. Anyway, whether you're going to work, coming home, or on your way out, have a beer for me, or a glass of, oh, it's still cold enough, a little Cab Sav would be nice, maybe somewhere from McLaren Vale, and I'll see you all in the morrow. So.